Hello, everybody. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, my brethren and sisterin? All right. For those who's first here, welcome, welcome, welcome. Those who is first here. All right. One moment. Let me welcome, welcome, welcome. Put the mute on this. All right. All right. Well, all right. All right. So as we get started. We're about to get this party started, right? We're about to get this party started quickly, as they say. There's going to be a lot of data in this one. Okay, there's going to be a lot of data in this one. What's up, Garland? What's up, One Loyal King? There's going to be a lot of stuff going on in this one. So y'all have put just be seated, be stuck to your seats because it's about to be on. All right, so I'm still getting things started. I just got the notices out. Well, I've been had the notices out, but sorry, it took me a minute to get on here. I forgot that I had reset my computer. So it took me a minute to get on here. All right. So with the reset and everything. So we're going to kick it off and let's get it started. And watch is not going to be the... Hold on for a second. I got to now turn all my phones off. Hold on for a second. All right. And what else do I have set up? Oh, this one was already shut off. All right. So let me just redo this. Hold on for a second. Power off. I think that's everything. 1, 2, 3. Oh, this one. All right, so that should leave just one. All right, so everybody that stopped by, oh, geez. I think Google has messed my entire phone setup up. Okay, there we go. All right, so y'all, this leads right into what this is about to start. So let me greet everybody real quick. All right, so what's up, everybody? This is the Reluctant Nabi back again. And oh, we got a hot topic for you tonight. And I want y'all to pay attention to this because this is going to be significant. in kind of the worst way. If you call yourself being a stand-up man, you're going to be under attack. If you are a man of principle, you're going to be under attack. If you're a man that wants to raise their children right, you're going to be under attack. All right? And so we'll discuss how that attack is, but let me greet everybody real quick. Gordon Hardugu Dog, all the way to the vein, Boston Slow, Bonjour, Miss Me, Kettle Bawani Konichiwa, Niha Niama, Sani Bonani, Jumbo Badigani, Assalamu alaikum and Shalom. All right. Now I want to play a particular thing for y'all. I'm gonna wait till a few more people roll up on here because this is significant. This is a significant thing that this sister pointed out. All right, this is a significant thing that this sister pointed out. Okay, and it should be frightening. It should be frightening to those paying attention. All right, to brothers, it should be sobering. All right, so it should be frightening to some. To those paying attention, this should be frightening, but to brothers, this should be sobering. Okay, this should be sobering, very sobering. And why do I say this? It's because there is a line of attack on the Afro man that people are not recognizing. All right, there is a line of attack on the Afro man that people don't recognize. All right, people don't get, people don't understand. All right, they don't understand. And they don't understand because, let's be honest, they're not understanding because some people don't want to understand. They are in their comfort zone and they are complacent, but it's even worse than being complacent. All right, this is worse than just being simply complacent. Because it's not really about complacency per se. At the end of the day, what's really going on is that a lot of these people. Hold on for a second. So a lot of these people are not trying to understand just exactly what's going on. And so one of the things that I wanted to mention to you as we begin this journey tonight, and I want to know how many people recognize this, that we are literally in a proxy war. The Afro man, I want y'all to understand this. The Afro man is in right now a proxy war. It's not the hot war that you're used to. It's not going to be the hot war that you can recognize. You know, it's not going to be that easy thing, right? See, that'd be easy to recognize. That hot war right there, where you can see the people that are attacking you. But there are people that are attacking you that you should see, but we don't see these people because of who they are. And the issue is that we don't recognize a lot of these people as the adversary. What's up, Backwoods Rider? We don't recognize a lot of these people as adversaries. We do not recognize a lot of these people as adversaries. So I'm gonna play you something, right? And I want y'all to understand. This sister was peeping game. This sister was peeping game. And this is what I mean by some people should be afraid. All right. And the brothers, the warriors, we should be aware. So let's get it on. Take a listen at this sister real quick. Because a lot of these sisters, and I'm going to say this, a lot of these sisters are right.
I made a video yesterday about
before I play this, a lot of these sisters right now are becoming concerned. And the reason why they're becoming concerned is that they don't know what to do about a lot of this stuff. If they're with a man, and let's be honest, a lot of these women, as nice as they look, they're not with a man, or they picked the wrong one to be with, or the one that they're with, he's not listening to other men. Now, one of the biggest problems that we have going on in this toxic community is this, that in general, we can't fight this battle against our adversaries because we can't come together as a group. And that is because many of us have allowed ourselves to be suckered into not ever paying attention to other brothers. And the dudes that have formed groups, they're not independent of the people leading them. Like these Israelite camps. You see them marching around these places and they got a large number of people. Right? Now, all those dudes that's in those camps, all right, they're not nothing but pawns for the dudes that are running the camp. So part of the problem is this, is that there is no more independent thinkers. There is nowhere where brothers get together, iron sharpens iron, because most of the dudes claiming to be warriors, they're not warriors because they're busy following females. Period. Now, for those of you that's been around for a minute, y'all know that I have been saying this for a while. All right? Y'all know that I've been saying this for a while. Pay attention. I've been saying this. What's up, Rasan? Hold on. Just seen a video and a guy. Oh, let them think that. Hold on. Let them think that. Let them think that. Because when they're saying this, these are the simps that, hold on. Wait a minute. This woman is going to address this dude, the dude that's saying this specifically. Because this woman is worried that men like me, are not bothering with them in the United States. Men like me haven't really been in the United States for a minute. Okay. And so here we go. Pay attention to what she's saying.
So I made a video yesterday about white supremacists and Black women being on the same team and in cahoots with their hatred for Black men. And that is still true, and I definitely still believe that. But there's a part of that. There's a group of people in that in my opinion, are the white supremacists and the hatred that some Black women have. And that's these simps. These simps and these black gatekeepers, and that's these simps, the hatred that some black women have. And that's these simps, the hatred that some black women have. And that's these simps. These simps and these black gatekeepers are not only parasites, but they are the biggest threat to a real man. And these simps hate real men, and they hate women who support real men. Because, see, a simp knows that you don't have what every man has to have in order to cope and to be at peace, and that's respect. One thing I do know, a man craves respect over anything. And a man can look over and forgive a lot of things if respect is there. But see, simps don't have respect at all, not even for the people that they simping to. So that makes them despise real men that have respect and despise women that support real men that have respect.
Now, let me break that down. What she meant to say is simps don't get the respect from the women that they're simping to. They don't have respect for people, but they don't get the respect from the women that they're simping for. They don't get respect. All right. They're not respected by real men. All right. Simps are not even respected by each other. All right. I want y'all to understand these. These simps aren't even respected by each other. All right. The simps have participated in all of the lies. I want y'all to understand something. These simps have participated in all of these lies that people have been telling about the Afro man for a long time. And this, I want y'all to understand this. They have participated in all of these lies. Hold on for a second. And they have promoted the lies about the Afro men. And even when you present the truth, they will come with the lie for the sole purpose of being against the good Afro men that is telling the truth. Why in the world would they do this? Why in the world would a man, when you speak up in defense of a man, why would another so-called black man come out and try to support the lie, especially when you're showing the truth? That's because their soul is sold out and they become wicked. All right. When I say that our problem is really not white supremacy, but it's a lot of these simps, along with the BAWs. Remember, what's up, masculinity? Remember, I said this before this woman came out with this video. I kept saying that the simps are the minions of the BAW. If the BAW is the right hand of white supremacy, then the simps, the so-called gatekeeper simps, the primps, the dating coaches, they would be the left hand of supremacy. All right. And why would we say this? Why would we say this? Because this is a system that have been set up by these people. Let me ask you this question real quick. How many people saw the video with Gloria Steinem admitting that she was a CIA operative. How many people looked on my Facebook or looked on that was around on the channel? What's up, Captain Marvel? And saw that? How many people saw that Gloria Steinem was a CIA operative? Now, let me say this. What's up, Baruch 12? Let me say this. With Gloria Steinem being a CIA operative, and you got the CIA operating in all of this stuff, understand what they do is they try to get at the weak link. Let me say that again. What they do is they try to get at the weak link. All right? That's what they do. They try to get at the weak link. Why? Well, here's the thing. The weak link. All right, everybody. Take a look at this. This is not right. You got a black woman twerking with barely nothing. Hold on for a second. And if you look at and panel the whole crowd, there is a bunch of black women. Then you have praise dancers down below. You have church full of boys and stuff. And you wonder why things out of control. You wonder hold on. Okay. So when we get down to it, and what's really going on, y'all, we have a culture of simps and everything. And this is who our battle is against. Now, I'm bringing up data real quick that everybody tries to fight. And people try to fight this data. People try to fight this data because it is the proof that people want to ignore. All right. It's the proof that people want to ignore. All right. So let me do something real quick. So we're going to look at a couple of things, right? We're going to look at a couple of things to dispel certain arguments. And in the meantime, so that you know what we're talking about, let's let this female say it one more again. Hold on, I saw it. Okay. All right. No, what's up with the soft girl era? All right. All right, it's on my Facebook. What's up, Garland Berry? What's up, K Dot? And what's going on, Space Rice Krispies? Okay, so let's go back and replay this, what this woman is saying.
So I made a video yesterday about white supremacists and black women being on the same team and in cahoots with their hatred for black men. And that is still true, and I definitely still believe that. But there's a part of that. There's a group of people in that, in my opinion, are worse than white supremacists. And the hatred that some black women have. And that's these simps. these simps and these black gatekeepers are not only parasites, but they are the biggest threat to a real man. And these simps hate real men, and they hate women who support real men. Because, see, a simp knows that you don't have what every man has to have in order to cope and to be at peace, and that's respect. One thing I do know, a man craves respect over anything. And a man can look over and forgive a lot of things if respect is there. But see, simps don't have respect at all, not even for the people that they simping to. So that makes them despise real men that have respect and despise women that support real men that have respect. These simps is dangerous. Let's not forget about them. They real dangerous.
Okay, so you hear her break it down. The simps are dangerous. They're real dangerous. I've been saying this for a while. They are very, very dangerous. Not much good about them. All right. Not much good about them. The Derek Jacksons. And I'm going to tell you why. Derek Jacksons made money off of lying about black men, about Afro men, about men in general. All right. This dude made a grip lying about Afro men. I mean, he made money out the yin yang. He made money out of the yin yang. And he was able to do it because he catered to females and the females paid him. I want y'all to understand this. He catered to black women and it was the black women who paid him. And they paid him well too. And then while his wife was in agreement, right? While his wife was in agreement, half the people didn't know he had a wife. He's up there shebang-wanging a whole bunch of people. But hey, it's easy for her to let it go because he made the family millions of dollars. So for money, these people will sell their souls to the supremacist system to destroy the community. And they know they are destroying the community. All right. They know they're doing it. They have sold out. They have become traitors, not only to Afro men, not only to the Afro community, but men like the Derek Jacksons have become traitors to the truth. Now, first thing we want to address again, and each time I see them with this, a black woman created this. The black woman did not create a single damn human being. It's the man that created the human being. He created it in his loins. And this is how you know you were created by your father. Because if your father don't plant the seed, you don't exist. If your mother takes another dude's seed in that night, you don't exist. But if your father plants his seed in another woman, that was instead of your mom, like say your mom's name is Sue. All right. And instead of him planting that seed in Sue, he decides to go to Mary. Then Mary becomes your mom. But say, all right, your mom is Sue. Your dad is Dr. Simp. Dr. Simp plants his seed in Sue. All right, then you exist. But what if your daddy, Dr. Simp, dies in a car accident before you were born? Guess what? No matter how many seeds your mama take in, you will never be born. because the woman don't create you. Understand this. No matter what happens, you as a human being, all you people that exist now, all these females that's going to come by here and exist and want to put up hate about the truth, you will not exist. You cannot exist without your father, without the dude that was your father. Let me say that so that we can get real clear on this. You cannot exist without the man that was your father, that is your father. Let's say is your father because you're alive. You cannot exist. And women don't really care much. If they did, the abortion rate would not be so high that Black women has taken the lives of more Afro people than all other things since 1973 combined. So let's get that first lie out of the way. Let's get that first lie out of the way. Let's deal with the second issue. Okay, I'm about to cover this whole divestment movement and stuff like that. It's already backfired because the Black woman had been divested from the Afro community since the 70s. All right, since before the 70s. Where do you think Lena Horne came from? A Black woman and a white man. Almost every light-skinned star back in the day came from a Black woman and a white man. From the 20s, from before the 20s, they've come from the Black woman and the white man. He's always had his way with the Black woman. They've always been divested to some degree, right? But because that option was just taken away to such a degree by policies of the United States, okay, because it was taken away to such a degree by the policies of the United States, what happens is that the so-called Black women, right, the so-called Black women would they just couldn't go and do what they want to do. All right. And I want to show y'all something real quick. And so what happens is, to cover up how bad they have been divesting from us, to cover up for it, right? To cover up for it, right? What they did was they tried to change the narrative and make everything the Afro man's fault. All right. And every narrative lie that was told about the Afro man came from out of the mouths of the BAW. Okay. Hold on. All right. And so I'm pulling up some charts here. All right. I'm pulling up some charts here, right? And they're trying to be political about this. And we're going to look at all of this, because you need to see this for what it is, to see who's really responsible for what's really going on. You really need to see what's Hold on for a second. All right, I want to put this family breakdown, right? Because you hear this narrative all the time. Well, all the good black men are in jail, right? But that's who they wait on to screw, is the men in jail. How is that good? How is that good for a child? Well, they don't care, because it's how they feel. And as we know, for the BAW, their feelings outweigh anything else. Their feelings outweigh anything else. All right, we have been fed with everybody that's been dealing with these issues have been failing us so miserably as far as the truth. If people would ever tell the truth about what's really going on, then it wouldn't be an issue. All right, mass incarceration is not the problem in the United States for the black family. Mass incarceration is not the problem with the black family in the United States. I want y'all to understand this, and I want y'all to get it. Mass incarceration is not the problem that we have when it comes to the so-called black family. Mass incarceration is not the issue. Is not the thing that's causing us the harm. All right. As I gather this information, we're going to just douse over things that's hold on for a second. And hold on, wait. This is what we have. I'm looking for another chart. Okay, this chart right here is pretty interesting. I want to show y'all some stuff real quick. Because like I said, a lot of people don't want the truth out because the truth actually implicates the BAW. And it implicates them in the worst way. And so basically, let's concentrate on the Simps some more real quick. So when we look at all of these narratives, right? When we look at all of these narratives of what's really going on, all right, when we look at all of these narratives, what we have is a hopeless situation when it comes to children in the United States, right? And so if we were going to be honest, if we were going to be honest, right? Mass incarceration is a problem when we talk about what's going on with Afro men who are unjustly put behind bars. All right, innocent Afro men. And that's a problem. When we look at the breakdown of all these prisons and stuff like that, and the weight that it has on Afro men as far as justice, right? Um, that's a problem, right? So that's an issue. But when we're looking at this thing, systemic racism, it exists. It exists, and in every aspect of our communities. All right, it exists in every aspects of our community, and I will never say that it does not exist because I know damn well it exists. But here's the issue: it's always existed in this country. Racism has always existed in this country. If you ask me, it's going to continue to exist in this country because it ill, as Jessa would say, it ill what it ill. It is what it is. All right. But the bottom line is this. The bottom line is this. And as I kind of have all the stuff that I want, right? The bottom line is this. We only have one person to hold responsible. Hold it. The only one responsible for the condition of the Black community, and understand, not the condition of Afro men. All right, and so let's make sure we clear that up. Afro men are responsible for the condition of Afro men. All right, and I am saying, even with the injustice that is abound in the United States against Afro men is still responsible for ourselves. We are responsible for ourselves. A lot of times we can't help each other with anything because at the end of the day, like in our groups, let me say this, in our groups, what happened is, so y'all know what Texas Marine stole money from me. Okay, so y'all know about that. He knows intimately what I was doing with the money. All right, so it wasn't lost on him, but he stole it anyway. Why? Because he wanted what he wanted and didn't give a damn. And because he thought I wasn't, and money wasn't the only thing he stole. Stole a lot of stuff from me. He was taking stuff just left and right from me. But again, he thought I wasn't going to be aware. He thought I wasn't going to be aware of what was going on. And I was acutely aware. I'm aware of everything I own and I have. It's just that something I let pass is because you get in the spot, you're like, well, that's some extra stuff. So yeah, they can have that. But here's the evil part. Half the stuff Half the stuff he took, I would have given to him had he asked just outright. But the more my stuff he took, the more he wanted to take. And so I stopped trusting him, and I was like, okay, let me go grab my stuff off of him, because I can't trust storing my stuff that I want in Houston around him, because, well, end of the day, I really can't trust him like that, because he keep taking my stuff thinking that I won't miss it. I won't recognize it. I won't recognize it being taken. Right? And that's the thing. But at the end of the day, what starts happening is that I start recognizing things. You can't hide it anymore. Now, what do? All right, that's the simp kind of mess stuff that's been going on. But yeah, but see, here's the thing. If any of these men were ever righteous, right? If any of these men were ever righteous, they would tell dudes like I do, you need to separate from them. So long as people say, no matter what the black woman do, stick around until she change. She's going to do all the trash she can do, throw away her youth, and then when she come with you, she won't be able to bring you a child. Right, Dorothy Dandridge, right? And so the black women have been divested from the Afro community. Oh yeah, I forgot. My PayPal me and Cash App is in the description box. I do not do right now I can't, because I don't have 1,000 subscribers. But even if they do allow me to have super chats, all right, I won't do them is because I treat everybody's comments the same. I put them all up. All right. And I try to put them all up. And as this thing gets bigger and bigger, what I'll do is people like this comment right here that has a lot in it. I'll put them up over the one-liners. I'll sift through, and this will catch my attention, right? I'll put ones up that's directly at me, that's in orange, right? Yeah, there, hold on, but that isn't how we judge. We don't deal with women because they're acting. See, there's a difference between acting feminine and being feminine. They wouldn't have to be an actress and act if they're really feminine, right? And so basically, we have to stick to biblical principles, right? Um, we have to stick to biblical principles, because an act can be deceptive. Remember, these women have been tearing us apart. They've been lying on us for the last 30, 40 years. And keep in mind, they have been literally, okay, they have literally been the right hand of supremacy, and the simps that keep telling us coming up. And this is the problem I have with Sperling and all the rest of them so-called gatekeepers. Like the woman said, okay, like this woman said, that the problem is that they don't believe in righteousness, right and wrong, and they don't believe that people should pay the price for doing wickedness to other people. The so-called black woman has been wicked to us, downright traitorous, treasonous, and every other thing. And then as we start to catch on, and let's be clear, the only reason why we're catching on is because people like me, Tommy Sotomayor, Rick Scorpio, the dude that smoked the cigar, Pittsburgh Steelers fan, he died recently. But oh, I forget his name. But him, we've been speaking to this, but nobody was listening until Kevin Samuels popped up. Hey, what's up, Mr. Pirate Brain? Hey, what's up, Backwoods Rider? Okay. And so basically, nobody was listening. Nobody cared to listen, right? A lot of people went in and followed Kevin Samuels is because what he was talking about was entertaining. But let's be clear. They liked the battle between him and the black women. They would come on, and so you got part of the battle, right? You got that battle and stuff. Here, I don't have time to battle with them. I'm putting out the truth. There's nothing they can say about it, right? Here's the thing. Black men won't make it because real men don't have respect for the black men who are the simps. And the first of all, the simps are the worshiper of the black woman. No matter what the black woman do, they will never hold her accountable. So they're less than men. They're afraid to hold her accountable, but they will jump. David Carroll, thank you. David Carroll. All right. And so here's the issue, right? And so the problem is that these dudes are only gatekeepers for white supremacy, where they cede power to the woman and refuse to hold her accountable. Even in scripture, it holds her directly accountable for all of this. It says that she shall be punished. I mean, because all these blood abortions, that's blood on her hands. But see, a lot of people want to let that slide. We're not supposed to let that slide. Oh, heel to the knob. That's not supposed to slide. Right? And so basically, we get back to this woman. Now I'm gonna play this one more. Hold on, let's see. I'm gonna play it one more time.
So I made a video yesterday about white supremacists and black women being on the same team and in cahoots with their hatred for black men. And that is still true, and I definitely still believe that. But there's a part of that. There's a group of people in that, in my opinion, are worse than white supremacists. And the hatred that some black women have. And that's these simps. These simps and these black gatekeepers are not only parasites, but they are the biggest threat to a real man. And these simps hate real men, and they hate women who support real men. Because, see, a simp knows that you don't have what every man has to have in order to cope and to be at peace. And that's respect. One thing I do know, a man craves respect over anything. And a man can look over and forgive a lot of things if respect is there. But see, simps don't have respect at all. Not even for the people that they simping to.
All right, and again, what she's saying is simps don't get respect. All right, and they're not worthy of respect, but they don't get respect. That's what she means. All right, so when we get back here, this is the biggest simp, okay? And everything, when we look at this, they always try to give credit to the black woman. But I want y'all to pay attention to this. This is a woman in church. And she's twerking. Okay, she's twerking again. This woman is twerking in a church, turned out to be the pastor's wife. All right. And look at all these females, so-called praise dancers, and the choir members, right? There is no sanctity in anything for these people here, for these women, these females. And for a long time, for a very long time, the church let it go. The church let it go. Now, that was an old video I had back when I used to play the organ, right? And here's the other thing. So people, you got a bunch of dudes that take the idea of other men and won't give them credit because they don't want people to look at everybody, is because they are thirsting for attention, because this attention brings money to them. So nothing can get done. Y'all remember I used to play the organ, and then all of a sudden everybody has my organ sound in their videos, right? And so you have this going on. But now here's a more tragic thing, right? Let's break down the other lies that the BAW were telling. Let's break down the other lies that they were telling. Okay, so let's go up here real quick. All right, let me see if this is it. I think this is it. Yep. I'm going to say it loud because I ain't black, but I'm proud, right? Here it is. We're going to discuss why this is the truth right here. And we're going to add it like this. The man is the reason why you exist as a human being right now. Without the dude that is your father, you would never exist. What's up, Daniel? Hey, what's up, Artisan 3221? All right. So again, now let's understand this. If your father is not the man that put that sperm in a woman, you would not exist. The woman could have been any woman. It could have been the woman that was your mother or any other woman. It could have been one of her sisters. It could have been a woman down the street. But you exist because he planted that seed in a woman. And it could have been any woman. The other way around, it does not work. The other way around, it does not work. Okay? Now, why is this so utterly important? Because the woman chooses which man's seed or seeds, plural, produces babies. The black woman chooses which man's seeds get to produce the babies in the community. So one of the myths were that the majority of Afro men were in jail, and that's not true. All right. So let's start with these numbers. Okay. Again, 59% of black women have multiple children from multiple babies' daddies. 70+% of black women are single mothers, with roughly 60% of them having multiple children. The dudes that made these children, these multiple children from multiple babies' daddies, are dudes coming out of jails and prison to the tune of 61. And if you account for the Afro community soul, between 61 and 71%. All right, that's who's making most of these babies. Now, so basically, you got a couple of problems here. You got the condition of the children and the condition of the community directly the Black woman's fault because of this reason and this reason alone. She had options, and she had better options than the ones she chose. If she was considering the future of the community, the future of the family, and the future of the children that she was going to let come out of her. And she didn't want a good future for herself. She was living in the day, so she was making day-to-day decisions about who she going to screw because she could count on the Simps without fail to come up and try to convince all the rest of the men with sense that there's no soft anything. The only thing soft is this, the trash that these dudes are speaking. Because if we're going to be real, all right, no, these women need to be held accountable for their actions. They need to be held accountable for their busting up of relationships. They need to be held accountable for who they let between them feet. Okay? And so, when we look at this, let's see who's been paying attention. Are there more so-called Black men in jail? And when we say jail, we're counting all prisons and stuff, or in college. And let's get very specific. No, let's just say that. Let's just say that. Are there more Black men in jail or in college? How many people know the answer to that? Hey, what's up, Zimaloo? There's way more in college. As a matter of fact, if you take all the halfway houses, jails, and prisons, or any type of incarceration, you will still have more Afro men in college than any of these places. As a matter of fact, you will have more Afro men that attain a bachelor's degree than those that are incarcerated in any sense of the word. Right? Oh, you don't believe me? Let's go through this. Oh, yeah, not only are they in college, but they're in the STEM courses. All right, so take a look at this. When you look at this, when you look at these numbers here, you are looking at the number of Afro men who are in college versus the mess that they try to tell you. You know, because for everyone, the issue is that when we talk about this stuff, right? When we're dealing with this stuff, no one can handle the fact that the woman that they worship, understand it, they can't handle the fact that the woman that they worship is the cause of all this damage. And therein lies the issue. A lot of these dudes can't handle the fact that the woman that they worship, all right, not only has this been debunked, but it keeps being debunked. All right, but we're going to start slowly and deal with this, right? And the reason why we're dealing with this, because I want you to look at the prison population, right? I want you to look at the prison population, which was roughly 745,000, so 746,000. That's the prison population. 746,000. That's the prison population. 746,000. What is the population of Afro men in the United States? What is the population of Afro men in the United States? The population of Afro men in the United States is going to be roughly 18 million. And when I say Afro men, we're talking descendants of slaves. All right. And so if we take the calculator here and take 746,000 and divide that by 18 million, we get roughly 0.041%. Hold on. And here we go. And pay attention to this. And much of the prison population is repeat offenders and unjustly imprisoned. And we know this to be a fact, right? And so why am I bringing this up? Because the Black woman overwhelmingly choose from out of the 746,000 dudes in prison to produce babies with over the dudes coming out of college. The dudes coming out of college are the lame ones, nerds and stuff like that. And overwhelmingly, they are choosing those dudes in the prison system to produce children with. All right. And the breakdown, when you do the 18 to 24, all right, more young brothers are engaged in education than prison, felonies. But while these dudes are studying hard, the dudes that's out on the street corner that have nothing to do, all right, the women just go and pick them up, and especially the women in college. The women pick them up and produce all kind of babies with them. They have their little hot girl summers with them. They go to these beach parties and get screwed by them. All right. And so let's just make this clear. Let's just make this clear. It's the lie that they keep on trying to tell. This is the lie that they keep on trying to tell. Why? Because there's this thing about accountability. When you really look at it and you really just see the numbers, right? Thugs kill each other and children and tell people don't snitch because that's going to be against the code. And like I said, they're the left hand of supremacy. All right. With that comment, both the hand of supremacy. All right. And they want these code. They want regular people to have the code. But as soon as they get hemmed up, they'll tell on their other thug members to get that lighter sentence. They just don't want the community to call the police on them. And many in the community won't call the police on them. You know why? Because most of the community is thugs and black women. Most of the brothers that got their stuff together, they move out of that community. And that's why they move out. All right. This is why brothers don't come back to help that community. They're not a part of it because basically, when we get a woman, we pull the woman to be with us where we want to be. We don't go where we're not wanted. All right. When we talk about systemic racism, institutional racism, it exists. All right. And how we fought this is when men were the head of the community, we build our own schools. So our own schools, we rival Caucasian people. Most people, we have more homeowners. We had more homeowners. We had our own stores. We had our own clothing stores. We had our own music. We had the Chitlin circuit. All right. And so when we talk about wealth and employment gap, there is no employment gap and wealth gap. Or let me put it to you this way. There is not an earning gap between the so-called black man and the black woman. Y'all seen the other videos. We earn the same thing. It's just that the Afro man has a higher wealth than black women because our spending is not as bad as theirs. And the other reason is black women has been conditioned by their moms and the system to go to college. Don't worry, get student loans, right? And everybody is buying them out. Joe Biden did that thing for the student loans is because he knows that the most affected by it is black women. And he needs their vote coming up for Democrats. But what he did was an executive order. But remember, again, he is the one that fought hard to have the bill give power to the banks and colleges to make it almost impossible to get out of or get relief from student loans. He did that. All right. There's racism in all of this. Here's the key. Here's the key. Why were we able to fight it before 1960 and we can't fight it now? I dare say that, well, you had the assassinations of our leaders by the FBI. It was called COINTELPRO. This is why nobody trusts the FBI now. They lied about everything. They sat on the Hunter Biden laptop. They got in cahoots with YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter to hide that. They lied on people that were telling the truth about that laptop. They lied on them. They allowed Facebook to make these people look like liars. We should be able to sue them. Hopefully, there'll be enough new blood in Congress where there can be laws that we can go and petition them to make laws whereby we can sue Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and everybody else that flagged us, kept us from money because we put doctors up and they said you can't do that. We tried to tell the truth and they said you can't tell the truth, and they promoted the lie. As a matter of fact, a lot of people were harmed by these people because of the side effects from the what you know what. And hopefully we put new blood up in there so that people can tell the truth, but I doubt it. Because remember, they're catering to the BW because they are easily bought out. All right. And so they're talking about us with this, and they're talking about it being the father. Right? And that's because the BAW actively chooses these dudes because that's excitement. Remember, the dudes in college, they're lame. And now we get to this. And this is the one I'm going to leave up here. This is the one I'm going to leave up here. Because I just want people to really look at this, to really have an understanding as to what's going on. Okay? Right. All right. They're passed over by all these women, but they're getting angry because the stand-up Afro men have gotten them passports, and we're meeting fly women from Brazil, from Colombia, from the Philippines, right? And so yeah, we're like, okay, yeah, yeah, you didn't want the stand-up brothers. All right. And so they've been lying and lying and lying. People can't stand this channel, and they will not give me credit for anything because I bring these facts, right? And these facts are harmful to the dating coaches because how do you hide this? That the problem that every narrative they tried to say about the Afro man as the cause of the condition of the Black community, I'm saying no, it's not. It's never been us. It's not been us, at least since this starts 1960. So the top thing, look at the family breakdown and Black incarceration. 1960, the single percentage of birth to unmarried Black women, and understand they're not even talking about a license. They're talking about men and women who consider themselves husband and wife based on jumping the broom, old-timey, writing your name in the Bible and all the rest of that stuff. Children grew up in a two-parent household, right? That started to come apart around 1954, but this data starts in 1960, and you see the serious incline. When you look at the 1960s, at least from the 1960s to the 1970s, there was a decline, a slight decline in prison is admission for Afro males. And that's because a lot of dudes in the 1960s were being framed by the FBI, the CIA, and the American Democratic government. Remember, the FBI has always been Democrats as far as those top leaders. Okay, if you really want to pay attention, right? And so when we look at college and prison for young Afro men, right? You got the yellow growing up with two bio parents, the gray with step parents, and blue with single parents. All right. And you see young black women, all right, young black men, they do better when growing up with two bio parents. They do slightly better when growing up with two step parents, and they do worse with a single parent because most of the time that single parent is a black female. That's graduated from college. That's the top one. All right. When you look at the bottom one, ever been incarcerated, they are less likely when they have two parents. When they're with step parents, they are more likely, and when they're with single parent. So anytime they are not with their father, the Afro male child does worse. For the black woman, young black women, they do way better graduating from college when they have both parents, slightly better when they have step parents, and with the single mom, they do worse. But when it comes to going to being incarcerated, they do worse when they have the single mother. They seem to do okay with step parents, and they do okay with their real parents. Right. So everybody is being bought. And I'm gonna tell you what's happening. Um, there's a bunch of websites. Um, a lot of them are in the description box, right? So go to the videos, go to my videos that's not this live stream, and look in the description box, and you'll have the websites. Hold on, let me see if I can. Let me link up some websites here. Yeah, I'm gonna put it up in here real quick. So the chart that you're looking at, hold on, let me see where I'm at. Rashawn, tell it. Okay. Here's the website for the chart on the right. All right. For college and prison thing, just type that into Google and you'll see a lot of information on that. But for this family breakdown, City Journal, okay, this is going to be it, right? So you can copy it right here in the thing. All right. And so basically, oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah. And so all this stuff is going to come down because the Democrats were going to take a bloodbath. Now, there's another thing that they're doing. The Republican Party is throwing their elections. Let me repeat this again. The Republican Party is throwing their elections. The only people that aren't throwing their elections are the people that Trump picked. Okay? They're intentionally throwing their elections that they should win. Ask yourself, why are they doing that? Because they've all joined and they've all joined. And this is the thing that Trump saw. Remember, Trump was not really for the Republican Party because he saw that the Republican Party was betraying the people too. But the thing is, the Republican voters were more savvy than the Democrat voters. And the Republican voters won't vote for the Republicans if the Republicans don't be about the right things. All right. Yeah, we know. People are stealing from my channel all the time. Yeah, right. But here's the thing. If they told the truth about that, they're afraid that people won't go view them. Hey, what's up, Kangaroo? All right, and that's the problem. Because they're not about the people, they're about money. And they're afraid that if they told people where the original information ever came from, but here's the thing, that's something y'all need to do too, right? Because y'all watch me, but people won't know if y'all don't tell them where it comes from. Some of the times y'all have to be the one that shout out the truth. No, Nabi said this first because remember, that whole question, what do women bring to the table? It got taken out of context that African descended of slaves, it got taken out of context because people didn't know those originally came from me. And there was more that went to them than just the praise. And this is why the people that was uttering the praise really didn't know what the hell was going on. But because they weren't the creators of it. They didn't know why I was making the commentary. So if I said that, what do black women bring to the table? I said take sex, degree, and money off the table. And why? Because that's the thing that the man could get anyway. So what can you give a man that he can't go get on his own? Your degree ain't doing him no good. Your degree is a representation for the Caucasian man, the supremacist system that we're talking about. The money you're getting from your employer, but for your labor, he's making billions. So you're helping to boost up what he has. All right, and so yeah, that don't make a lick of sense. That ain't helping us. Right? And so that's what that meant. But because people didn't understand the origin of it, right? Because they never understood the origin of it, then what happened is it got warped. It got warped and twisted to be something that I didn't intend it to mean. It was incomplete. But then again, that's how it goes. Yes. Yes. And see, a lot of people don't know that I'm the one that created the term depolicing. And they block. And this is why, here's the thing. This is the main reason why I tell you brothers to get passport, and it's time to leave these dudes alone. The main ones that's telling you, right? Because I'm about to message anyway. But the main ones that's telling you you need to stay, I'm saying you need to leave because they are your enemy too. All right? They are your enemy too. They are working with the supremacist system just like the BAW is. Period. All right? Period. They'll block me on Facebook and so they're going to be cursed for that too. They're going to be cursed for that. Hey, what's up, Rolando G? The brother, this suit ration with BAW, they can't they've been catering to Serena Williams by saying she has overcome adversity by being a black. Yeah, she hasn't. She hasn't. Her father overcame diversity. Her father is the reason she was where she is. Okay. And so now that brothers are getting these passports, everybody's getting upset. The simps are getting upset. The dating coaches are getting upset because the Afro men are waking up. And you know what? They're going to block me because I'm sending a message to you. And the reason why they would block me is other dudes will watch my channel, get the message, and then spread it with someone else, right? But another woman said that. She said that the biggest problem with these so-called black males, and she was talking about the major contributors, is they look on channels like mine, get information, and go take it for themselves. Hence, like the organ sound. The difference is I was actually playing my organ and I didn't have a machine to do it for me. Well, outside of my keyboard. All right. And so this is the thing. All right. And that's what I'm saying. Let them stay upset because they have betrayed us. Oh, and it gets deeper than that. It gets deeper than that, right? One of the things is this, that these females, oh, that ain't the one I want. Oh yeah, this is the one I want. Oh, I see how that went. So as we get back to this, okay, so we have the black woman twerking in church, right? But see, the thing that's going on is way worse than this. All right, it's way worse than this. All right, everybody. Um, They've been betraying us. You had a black woman twerking with barely nothing on. All right. I had an epiphany as to why the Almighty gave us commands. Okay, hold on for a second. The commandments weren't for good people to follow. Let me say this. Let me do this real quick. Hold on for a second. All right, so let's get back to it. All right, let's get this kicking, right? And so at the very beginning, all right, what's happening is this is what they have to give us, the BAW. The gift, Deuteronomy 23:18, do not bring the gift of a whore or the pay of a dog to the house of your Elohim, your Yehovah, your Elohim, for any vowed offering, for both of these are an abomination to Yehovah, your Elohim. All right. These women have worn themselves out with the pleasures of the Caucasian system as repayment for the destruction of the Afro community. All right, period. They have worn themselves out with this. All right. And even when they come to you, they come too old, too broken, and too non-compliant. Wow. Wow, that's kind of deep. I was telling my lady that about this. I was telling my lady about this. I was saying that it is so amazing. It is really amazing how many people steal my stuff, and I just never really realized how ubiquitous this theft is. I just never realized how bad it really was. Hold on for a second. Um, I don't know what's up with my stuff. Huh. Hey, are you, oh, okay. I was checking my volume. My volume is good. Hey, are you seeing this?
What?
Are you watching? Oh, okay. I'm just flabbergasted. So basically, so the gospel channels are using my stuff, regular channels are using my stuff, and when you credit me, this is really pathetic. This is really pathetic, y'all. And I didn't know it was this bad. I didn't know it was this bad. Hold on. Okay, they don't like Bolsonaro in Brazil because Bolsonaro, what he did was he made laws. He said he wants the regular people to be able to own guns because the gangster own guns, and it was real easy to rob people because you knew, well, you don't follow the law, so you have a gun, but you knew that the people you were going to rob don't have any weapons. So how are they going to defend themselves against you? Right? And he said that wasn't fair to the people trying to live a decent life. And so he made that. And so and so they didn't like it because people like when the population is unarmed. It's easier to take away their rights and stuff and force them into slavery when they're not armed. Okay? And so in Brazil, and a lot of people are checking what's going on, and a lot of people are liking Bolsonaro because he's standing up to the. And so in Brazil, the Supreme Court can overrule the president there. Some of the times, right? And so a lot of the things that's going on is not in the interest of the people, right? And it's just really politics there is just really messed up. Yeah. And so and so basically and so basically when you look at all this and stuff, the reason why we need whatever woman we get, we need to plan to get her out of here is because even the people that sound like they're talking stuff, when people don't give credit to where they're finding information, right? And y'all see, if y'all go look at my description box on my videos, you'll see places where I get this information. When you ask for it, I'll go and find it for it and put it up in this thing. Hey, what's up, Wayne King? All right, but this is the problem. This is the issue, right? You have a lot of people that aren't interested in helping Afro people. All they want to do is make money off of Afro people. All right, like the Derek Jacksons, right? In church, having the pastor's wife twerk. All right, and basically, when you look at this, like Ezekiel 16 and 26, and you hoard with the sons of Mizraim. That's Egypt. Mizraim is what we call Egypt. The real name should be Mizraim. If you go over there, they still are referred to as Mizrites. Your neighbors, great of flesh, and you increased in your whorings to provoke me. And I see I have stretched out my hand against you and withdrew your portion and gave you up to the desires of those who hate you, the daughters of the Philistines who are ashamed of your wicked ways. All right. And so it's talking about they went to be with the sons of Asher without being satisfied. And you whored with them and you still were not satisfied. And you creased in your whorings as far as the land of traders, the Chaldeans. And even then you were not satisfied. Now, here's the thing. The more wickedness they do, the less that we were having a conversation about the adult store. We was having a conversation about the adult store. I was having a conversation about the adult store. And we were mentioning, like, I remember like growing up. I remember growing up when, you know, the child weekend stuff and some of the places, you know, they send you to work like where just men work. And there was the magazine, you know, the Playboy, the Hustlers, and we was like, ooh, naked women. And you know how we was the first time we saw a picture of one. All right. And then there was a time back when we used to watch I will let you know, I used to watch the adult movies and stuff like that. And we was like, oh man, the pizza guy, the pizza guy. Then that music came, well, oh, the pizza guy got this about to get some down. All right. And so, and then I got turned off of that because I seen some stuff that was just way too sick. And it killed but it was no longer funny. It wasn't no longer this. That's where I get that music, you know. And I was like, oh Lord, that was just too sick. And then I noticed that a lot of people, like I never watched things enough to know people by name. I knew maybe like two famous people, right? And that was it, right? But then people were coming up with all these other people, but then they were going to get strange operations because parts of their bodies were falling out of parts of their bodies that stuff shouldn't be falling out of. So they had to go get operations because people were going up in places where they shouldn't have been putting stuff, and it fell out. So you couldn't do a bowel movement because you had no bowels there from taking all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the lady's name. And I was like, things got really that sick, right? And stuff. And then, but what I remember, like growing up, when you used to go because you could go to the adult store. I remember that the biggest section that you would think it was for men, the biggest section was for women. Then it got bigger and bigger. And now everyone, it's like the majority of them is run through by all them toys to where they made themselves insensitive or not sensitive to normal relations, right? And that's why I said the further away you are from being the virgin, the more size is going to matter. But then, as I was having this conversation, size isn't the only thing that's going to matter. There's this thing on TikTok where this song, it's a sound. This dude says, "I'm going to do this to you. I'm gonna lick this on you." I was like, they're licking, and then you hear people talk about it. They licking my part where you defecate. And I was like, really? And then you go back to this. They whored with the sons of Asher without being satisfied. And then you whored with them and still were not satisfied. In other words, and then you increased in your whorings as far as the land of traders, Chaldeans, and even then you were not satisfied. How weak is your heart, declares Master Jehovah. Sin, you do all this, the deeds of shame of a shameless whore. There's a difference between a prostitute and a whoredom. All right. And here, the more wicked their insatiable need is to fulfill this lust, the more they are not satisfied. And that's where we're at. We're at a place where you look at all these shows where they have these women on the panel, and they tell you they got to be like a horse because I'm just not satisfied. They done put everything up there, and they can't be satisfied by a normal relationship between a man and a woman. Right? You built your arch place in the head of every way, built your high place in every street, and yet you were unlike a whore. You scorned payment. That's the difference. They were doing this to be on boats. That's the difference. You scorned payment. The wife who commits adultery, who takes strangers instead of her husband. There is no such thing as cheating. White people made that up and not white people, but the white system, the government, the people like Soros and stuff made that up because they don't do that. They don't have one wife. They have a bunch of women that, and they have islands that they go to, like Epstein's Island, and all right, they do all that stuff, right? But they wanted us to be controlled by one woman. They wanted the man to be controlled by the woman. And how do they do that? They get the woman to use the system. Remember, Isaiah 4:12 says, children are our oppressors and women rule over them. Well, if children are our oppressors, how do they oppress us? Well, because of the children, we lose our income, we lose our house, we lose our livelihood, right? But who taught them that? It's the women that rule over them. All right. So what is the result of the women ruling over them? They which lead thee, cause thee to err, and destroy the ways of thy path. Right. And how do they cause us to err? Because by leading her, a lot of dudes are following these women. And anything these women do, they got millions of dudes following them. All right. But if somebody tells the truth about me coming up with these phrases like the D police, like what do they bring to the table, like the organ thing, they block you. That is really, really sad that all these people are taking my content and blocking the truth from getting out that it's coming from me. But see, I knew this. They'll be cursed for it too. Trust me on this one. All right, they're going to literally be cursed for this, right? All right, so listen to 1634. Thus, you are different from other women in your whorings, because no one whores after you. Oh my goodness. Do that sound like the black woman? Let me read that again. Hold on. Ezekiel 1633. Let me read this. To all whores they give gifts, but you gave gifts to all your lovers. Understand this. To all whores they give gifts, but you gave gifts to all your lovers and bribed them to come to you from all around in your whorings. This sounds like the current state of the black woman, right? She is screaming out to Caucasian men, Hispanic men, and all the men, hey, I'm available for you. I'm going to open up to you, right? I'm giving you all of me. You don't even have to bring nothing to the table. So long as you're not the Afro man, understand this. So long as you are not the Afro man, all right, you can have your way with me. I'll give it all to you. Remember, Serena Williams made more than her husband. Eve, when she went in, she had to sign a serious prenup, right? All these women that went into these white men, they said, we'll give you everything and you don't have to give us nothing. We just want to have a baby with white skin and good hair so that we can front it on all the rest of the black women. Look at what I got. Right? And so they are different in that they understand that these people, they hold on. And I'm gonna tell you where this is most prevalent. This is most prevalent in women that said they're going to travel to get them men overseas, right? Understanding that they're traveling, trying to be like the Afro man. So they don't have an Afro man paying their way down. They're going to pay their way down so that they can hook up with a man just to try to make the Afro man jealous, right? They're going to hook up with this man, and that man isn't going to have to do anything. And then they're saying that they're going to help these men get a green card. This woman literally said this, and we're going to help them get a green card. Yeah, because we have that value that we can get them a green card. So they are different from other women, right? because no one goes after them. These men aren't going after them to give them gifts, right? They're giving gifts to all the other women, while to the BAW, a gift is not given. Thus, they are different, because the whole reason why she's doing things, because she's been bought out and sold, and she is an active combatant against good Afro men. And as more of us wake up, get these passports, and leave, she gets angrier and angrier. And instead of repenting, that's the key word. Instead of repenting, we all had to repent ourselves because we're human beings. But instead of repenting, what made her different is she doubled down, because her desire is to be worshiped by the Afro man. And that's another peculiar thing. Why does she want us to worship her? And it's because in and throughout this world, when everybody travel, you'll see hip hop. If you walk around in the middle of Cartagena, you got dudes doing hip hop with music, our type of music that we created, the scratching and mixing and stuff. You see what I'm saying? And 36. Thus says Matthew Yehovah, because your copper was poured out and your nakedness uncovered in your whorings with your lovers and with idols of your abominations. Now understand idols, like the weave. They read on. Remember the whole video I did about the weave and how it is prayed to the god of destruction, Shiva. All right, remember that, right? Remember, they're wearing something that was that have a spirit invoked in it. All right, and we went all over that, right? How these people offer them their hair up as a sacrifice, and prayed over as a sacrifice, and these people come and pick their hair up, wash it and process it, and then sell it to the black woman. Billions of dollars a year industry. All right, because she idolized the Caucasian women. If she didn't, she wouldn't put the weave on her hair. Even though the weave is causing a lot of diseases, a lot of things, they're losing their hair, they're losing the forehead and stuff. And hold on, and we're not done. And it says, and because of the blood of your children, which you gave to them. How did these women give the children to them? One, they made sure they were without a father when they didn't abort them. Then they aborted them. But what happens when these women abort the children? Well, these children are offered up to Caucasian science, and they're creating all kinds of things that people are putting all over their skin to try to stay young. Think about that. 1637. Therefore, see, I am gathering all your lovers with whom you took pleasure, all those you love, and with all those you hated. And I shall gather them from all around against you, and shall uncover your nakedness to them, and they shall see your nakedness. And I shall judge you with the judgment of an adulteress and shedders of blood. And I shall bring on you the blood of wrath and jealousy. Bruh, man. Look at what's going on with the BAW in general. Look at what's happening. Nobody wants them. All the people that used them, ran through them. All them women that went to the Middle East, got used, abused, and stuff. They come back. Nobody wants them. Dudes don't want them. Dudes are hit it, but they don't want them. They don't want nothing to do with them. All these women that went on all these shows be like, and a man need to be like this, and he need to be this big and stuff. Dudes don't want them. Dudes don't want them at all. Huh? Okay. Dudes don't want them. They don't want them. And when I say dudes, I mean men in general. Men in general don't want them. And so you see the curses that they're going through that are laid out. Now, here is the thing. Oh, they're simps. The simps is about to catch hell. What's up, big task at hand? The simps are about to catch hell. Right? And this is, and so Brother Dwight, he's doing better, y'all. For those of you know. So Brother Dwight with another couple of guys way back when. This was a while back. The dude that writes Slaying Evil, right? They came up with the term save yourself. And I just, because my channel was big at the time, I was just promoting it, the idea of it, because as we discussed, and I was like, yeah, we need to save ourselves, right? And so what happened is that hey, what's up, young boy 24? The black woman was like, oh, we're going to divest, but they had already been divested. It's just that right now, these passages in Ezekiel is coming to fruition because with the internet, we understand how badly the black woman in general betrayed us. Right? And not only that, as the woman said in her thing, it's the simps you got to watch out for, and all these dating coaches and stuff, because they have betrayed the Afro people as well. Right. Nobody wanted us to have options because she was their option, and they was like, we need somebody to take her off our hands when we get done running through her. That would be the modern black woman, right? And then these women start getting on the pick-me's, which should be in their group. They should be happy that there's some because that's representative that there's some good women left. But no, they're angry at them because they're not on their code. See, these women are on, as they say, on code, which means that they have been mobilized against us, the good Afro men. Right. And so, and this and stuff just got really, really bad. And I mean, man, I'm telling you, I got turned off from that stuff. Lord, I got turned off from what that stuff. I saw something that was so sick. I saw something that was so sick, and it was something a dude did to a. Oh Lord, I don't even want to. Man, yes. And a lot of them women are being run through by, and they are paying the gay men. They're paying them, and those dudes will tell you. No, we never really had a problem with us. We have a problem with people trying to shove the lifestyle like we should have our children. Except, oh hell to no. Have your own children and raise them the way. Oh, you can't with your lifestyle. Yes. Very good point, K. Dot. Uh-huh. And so Ah, yes, yes, yes. We was talking about blonde hair today too. All right. And so and so basically, right? They've been following the lead of these women. All right. Tell you I was going to have kids. I would tell you I was going to have three. All right. This is something Shonda Rhimes said. Shonda Rhimes doing an interview with Oprah on Super Soul Sunday program. It feels obvious and maybe silly or something to people who are married or people who are older, people who have been through it, Rhymes says. But if you're a woman in your 30s or 40, that's a big deal. Everybody's asking you all the time if it's going to happen. There's a huge amount of pressure. I'm one of those people since I was 5. I can tell you I was going to have kids. I could tell you I was going to have 3. I could tell you they were going to be girls, she says. But I have never wanted to get married. I never played bride. I was never interested. I don't know what it is. I never wanted to get married. In other words, she wanted to have 3 children, girls, without having a husband. She wanted to be a single mother. Uh, she wanted to be a single mother. All right. And it is what it is. She wanted to be a single mother. And so this brings us back to square one. We are in a proxy war. What's up, B the Great B? We are in a, oh, don't forget to hit them thumbs up too for all the new people that came in. All right. And my Cash App and PayPal me is in the description box, along with my TikTok and email as well. Right. But brothers, understand this. We are in a proxy war. The racist so-called white system decided that they wanted rid the United States of the strong Afro men. All right. And by proxy, they got the Simps and the BAW, primarily the BAW. But they understand that these Simps worship them. This is why everybody is giving money to them. Goldman Sachs, even though there is not income disparity between the black man and the black woman, they're trying to get her salary to reach the white man, but they're not thinking about the Afro man. Think about that. If we're bringing home the same amount of money, if there's not disparity between the so-called black woman and black man, statistically, then why are you only helping the black woman? Because that means we're both below what the white man is earning. But see, this has never been about fairness. It's never been about really income equality, income inequality, because the most unequal person when it comes to income is the Afro man. We work twice as hard and earn much less, whereas the so-called black woman is given a lot of resources because they need her to war against the Afro man that's working hard. They need her to not produce children with the hardworking man. Why? They don't want us to rebuild a community independent of them. Period. They don't want no more Black Wall Streets. They don't mind having them if they're run by Black women, but they don't want them run by Black men, because then Afro men would have something to protect, right? And so now we're looking for other things to protect. So now we got them passports, and we're bringing back people we could work with, and we are rebuilding separate from the average modern Black women. And even when we go find a so-called pick-me sister, as they say, the first thing we say, we are going to separate you from them. We're not going to be around them. No, we are not having it. No, no, never, never, Oh man, it's just really and stuff, and and let's be real. I mean, as younger people, we were really curious and was watching, because they said you can't do that till you're old enough. But then it just got too sick, and I was like, oh hell no. And then my mind just was never really on it anymore. Dang, that was some sick stuff though. And I was like, oh no, no. Now here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. When you leave and go to another country, you're not interested in those adult movies either. And the reason why the adult movies were so popular is because that the average man is so starved of sex. If he gets married to or in a relationship with the so-called Black woman, and so the Afro man gets starved of it, so he looks for a release from them things. But then the most of the adult side is for the females, is because they're with each other more than anything. Right. Exactly, Rasan. That's exactly. And trust me, brothers, we need therapy. Afro men do not need therapy. There is nothing wrong with us. Some of the time I feel depressed, and I should, because of what I see going on. As a natural human being that cares about children, some of the stuff I see should upset me. The fact that it doesn't upset some people, they need therapy to figure out why some of the wickedness that they see does not upset them. Why doesn't it upset you that, why do you defend women who destroy more children than people, than all of the things that destroyed us combined? Why doesn't that upset you? Something's wrong with you. If that doesn't upset you, are you okay? Because you should, I mean, something should be clicking. Like, no, that's not right. That's not right. The aborting all them children. No, those are the sick individual. I feel depressed some of the times at what I see. I don't have depression, but I feel very depressed a lot. All right. Now, I do have some issues that I can't work around certain people anymore, because they tried to set me up. Caucasian people, Black women. I won't go in a job. I won't work any job that have them, because I can't trust them. I trust them about as far as I can throw this planet. And guess what? I'm not Superman. All right. And so basically, At the end of the day, at the end of the day, all right, what's happening is that now I have those issues from my stint in the army, serious issue. And so I don't anything that I can't do by myself. I don't work. I don't take a job. I will not take a job where I'm working with these type people, or where I'm working with people that can do that. Because remember, I was in the military. A military was supposed to be stand up and stuff like that. And you had a woman threaten to stab me, and I'm a sergeant, and you're going to come after me? Well, it's your fault. With a gift that I gave them, it was a pen, but it was racist as hell. So I don't trust them like that. I don't trust doctors anymore because of what happened as a result of what we've gone through for these past 2 years. The fact that doctors didn't speak up, the fact that we knew the truth about what things were, and the doctors allowed the CDC and everybody to promote the lies, and then the truth they called the lies, and the lies they called the truth. So I don't trust them anymore. And so I have those issues, and no amount of therapy is going to help it, right? Because how are you going to try to give me some therapy to accept injustice? Basically, that's what therapy try to get you to do: accept something you know to be unjust. How are you going to tell me to accept something like that? Oh, hell to the no. Right. And it's not destroying any, because some of the Afro men are already destroyed, like this Derek Jackson, a sellout. Right? But it got him rich. So what does he care? It made him rich. He'll tell you in a minute. I have no principles. I have no honesty about myself. I'm not a just person, but I don't care. Look, I made millions. And money is more important than integrity. Money is more important than how I will be remembered in the future. More money is more important than how my creator is going to judge me. Well, we're not trying to fix it. Like, so I found a sister, or she found me, or however we found each other. And we was talking about that if we wasn't trying to speak out to the evils that we seen, we would have never met. All right. But then again, that's probably why we met. And in saying that, we're not trying to fix the Black community, because the Black community starts with us and whoever we unite with as families, as friends. All right. There is no Black community anymore until us brothers find other like-minded brothers we can get together with, family to family, and handle some things. But all we have now is people that betray and traitors. All right. And brothers are about sick of that. So it's like stick a fork in all of them. They're done. Let's see. Well, Kevin Samuels was talking about it because that's what he believed in, because that's what his college told him. But I'm saying that these are spiritual battles, right? And therapy, what is therapy going to do if you don't separate yourself from the thing that's causing you the harm? Maybe you might need therapy, somebody, but a wise older person could tell you that. We didn't need therapy. We needed wise people. Older people to tell you that could tell you how to navigate through life. And how would they know? They're old. Think about that. How would they know? Because they're old. They know the lessons that got them to where they are now. And that's how we should deal with that. We listen to them old people who understand the lessons of how they got to be old people. But see, we don't want to listen to them either. We don't want to listen to them. All right. And that's the issue. So let me say this. So I'm about to bust a move. Almost time for me to pack up and stuff. Figure out how I'm gonna get some of this stuff packed up. But like, share, subscribe. Exactly. They survived, so they know how to tell you how they survived, how they survived all this stuff, right? They know how to tell you how they navigated through all this stuff. Every old person is not going to be wise, right? But old people are going to be wiser than them people with them degrees, because they're not wise at all. And they're telling you what to do based on the Caucasian people who were your oppressors and the books that they put out. Right? And so, and yeah, let's rephrase that. We need to talk to old, wise people. And you will know them is because they survived some things from being wise. They prospered from being wise. And some of the times the old people will tell you how not to get trapped in the stuff that they got trapped in as well. Exactly. Exactly. We're not supposed to have a marriage license anyway, because that marriage license ties us to the government and takes us away from the control of the Most High. Right? So he wouldn't tell us to get that to begin with. Yes, and that is the key. Yes. And that's what that scripture was saying. That and the Most High is going to turn their lovers and those with whom they hated, all of them are going to converge. And because the people that they love, the Caucasian man, he's using them. But when he's done, then they tell you, the Caucasian man tells you in his movies, they always get rid of the traitor. Right? They don't respect traitors. They'll respect fighters. They'll respect the enemy that fights against them. Oh, in this generation, that's true. But you have a lot of old people that want you to succeed as well. And you don't go to the Christian ones; they're sold out. You go to old people that live some stuff and taught real knowledge, because you'll be able to know. You got to be wise enough to know who's giving you wise knowledge. Period. You got to be wise enough to know who's giving you wise knowledge. Period. There's you go to somebody that has experience in which you are dealing with and talk to them. They're better than people that went to school and was trained by your oppressor. All right. And that's the thing. All of our elders are not jacked up. All of our elders are not jacked up. Just keep that in mind. Uh-oh. Hold on for a second. All right. So keep that in mind. And that's part of our problem. We need to find elders that, and when we run across them, just keep them in mind. Because there's a lot of elders, really, really old ones, that seen some stuff. And and basically all you got to do is ask them about history. of their life. Ask them about the things that they've seen, not politics, but ask them about the things that they've seen, how they survived it, how they got through stuff. What was things like? And you will find some gems in all of that. It's how I got to where I am. Yeah, and this is how you know who they are. If you talk to enough of them about history, they'll give you the correct history. Exactly. All right. When you talk to these older people, like a Shirazad Ali, all right. When you talk to these older people that's seen some things, a lot of these women need to listen to her and have these conversations with her. Women who know how to keep a man, right? But see, a lot of women don't want to listen to her, listen to them because they're not interested in keeping a man. They're interested in control. All right. But for us, we need to talk to men that know how to do stuff. Um, Men that was in old battles. I had old Vietnam vets that schooled me on some things, on the truth of what stuff really was. Not the sellout ones that's being put in high positions. These you talk to the old ones that served some time, then got out, and they'll tell you why they got out. Yeah, he was, right? And so there's a lot of them like that. There's a lot of them like that that will tell you the unmitigated truth. And that's where we need to be, right? That's who you go to when you got issues dealing with some things, all right, because they're going to tell you the same thing I'll tell you. Now, I am up on these things or from a spiritual level, and it has worked for me. Of all the stuff that I've been through, it has worked for me, right? And so I can tell you to not attach yourself to any group, right? I tell you read the commandments, but then read them for an understanding because they're natural. And if you look, you'll see the nature of human beings in them. Yes, I had, yeah, I have that clip as well. Exactly. He said that. I have that clip. And I put that in one of the old videos. All right. So this is where we are. All right. So brothers, I'm about to bust a move. I'm about to bust a move. For those of you that can donate, I would appreciate it. My Cash App and PayPal me is in the description box. If you can't, don't. But remember, before you donate, take care of yourself and family first. Please thumbs up if you haven't thumbs up, right? And what else? My TikTok is also in the description box, along with my email. And I'll be hollering at y'all next Saturday at 8 o'clock. Whatever next Saturday is. So 8 o'clock next Saturday. All right. With that said, peace, love, and soul. I'm out.